Hello and welcome to FPL Mate, your best mate for Fantasy Premier League content for the 2021-22 season. My name is Dan, and welcome to a Gameweek 32 deadline stream. It is a bit of a boring game week. I think it's a bit of a boring game week for most of us, anyway, because it's a week where probably most of us are not making too many transfers. Maybe the captain decision is already a little bit tied up. Everyone's just going for Kane or Son. Or maybe that is the interesting bit. But I do think there are some potential interesting moves that some of us are making. Potentially. Guys, we did obviously stream earlier today. So thank you guys if you watched the stream earlier. Thank you guys if you're rejoining me again now. And maybe we'll cover some of the similar stuff. I'm going to try and answer some more questions from you guys in this stream. And I'll talk a little bit more about my own team just because... in last stream, I didn't really talk about my own stream, and I didn't actually manage to get through that many questions in the end because there was just so much to talk about earlier. But maybe we'll cover the same things again. I have got the blackcurrant squash, it's kind of making a nice reddish hue on my face as the light beams through the delicious deadline stream drink. That's got me ready. That's got me ready. You know it's deadline time when the blackcurrant squash is up in the house. But yeah, hopefully you guys are all doing well. I mean, it's always an absolute pleasure when you guys choose this stream above others. I mean, there's so many deadline streams going on at the moment, isn't there? So many deadline streams. So I'm always so grateful that you guys choose to tune in to these ones. So hopefully we're going to be able to help you out with your burning last minute questions. So there has been a little bit of team news since our last stream. A few more press conferences come out. We've learned a bit more about the Arsenal situation. So we now know for a certainty that Tierney is going to be out for the season. It's now looking like Thomas Partey is also going to be possibly out for the season as well. He's going to be at least a few weeks, unfortunately. So bad times indeed for Arsenal there. What else have we got? We've got some injury news from Chelsea. And I think this is actually a really interesting one. That Lukaku has got a knock, so I think that's pretty much ruling out Lukaku for this game week. And if that is the case, that is so good for Havertz owners, and it's so good for prospective Havertz owners. Those of you guys who are looking for a new midfielder at the moment, honestly, look no further than Kai Havertz. I'm jealous. I'm really jealous of you guys who are able to own Kai Havertz. I'd really like him in my team, and I don't think I can do it without losing Lacazette. And I just don't want to lose Lacazette for this for the home game against Brighton, which is pretty good to be fair, and then a double game week next game week. I feel like over the next 2 game weeks, even though I've got 2 free transfers to use, so I could do it. Just over these next 2 game weeks, I feel like Lacazette could potentially outscore or match Havertz, or certainly I can make more valuable transfers. So guys, this is my team as things stand. I think I'm just going to refresh it. I'm pretty sure this is how things are going to end up. I can't see myself making any additional changes. There is obviously temptation to play Robertson, Weghorst, the Burnley guys against Norwich, but at the same time, we have to consider the quality of the player as well as the quality of the fixture. Although the fixture is very good, Maxwell Cornet is the only Burnley player who I'm actually can actively say I'm confident in right now, and that's perhaps partially due to his big haul on Wednesday. But if you look around the rest of my squad, every other player is a top quality, top class Premier League player. So I mean, it's really difficult to take anyone out, even though the fixture's not so good. It's just so difficult. It's just so difficult to get rid of them. So this is how my team is going to be set up. And I can't see myself making any changes. I mean, like I said earlier on, Son or Kane are pretty much your captain options, your primary captain options, unless you fancy going differential this game week, which I do not, particularly given the rank. I think there's a time and a place for going differential, and it's only when you are very passionate about it, when you are in a rank you're pretty comfortable in. And I guess I'm comfortable in this rank, and there is no one who is standing out to me on this team sheet that I'd be more likely to captain. I have got to make 1 transfer though, guys. That is the one thing I do need to do, and I'm going to be doing that later on in the stream. But it's going to be a boring one. It's going to just be a bench transfer. It's going to be setting up for future game weeks, because that's the privileged situation I find myself in, where I like my team and I can start making some transfers with future game weeks in mind, particularly setting up for a bench boost, which I am now thinking I'm going to bench boost in 33. And what next? I don't think 33 is the correct bench boost answer for everyone. I think we're all going to have slightly different optimal bench boost times. But for me, I think game week 33 could be the one. So what I'll be doing is I'll be bolstering that bench. We'll be using one transfer this game week for a bench player. And then we'll have 2 additional transfers next game week. And then activating the bench boost, hopefully getting a really nice bench boost score. And hopefully, in theory, as long as I can survive this game week, which should be fine, I can rocket myself into the top 100 for the close of game week 33. That is the plan. And then from there, every game week will pretty much be survival game week and just try and stay in the top 100. And if it happens, it happens. And if it doesn't, and I slip out of the top 100, then who cares? That's still a phenomenal rank, and I will still be very happy as long as I stay within the top 1,000. I mean, I have to call this season a success at the end of the day. A very large success, might I add. So yeah, that's my very, very basic plan for my own team. It's going to be quite exciting. I do like the bench boost in 33, partially just because it allows me to just get that chip out the way. I don't like the look of bench boost 36 so much anymore. I don't like the look of bench boost in... I don't mind the look of bench boost 37, to be fair. But it would take a lot of jigging around and switching around my team. I would basically have to be working towards a bench boost all the way from now until game week 37. And kind of, in a way, disregarding the primary first 11. So if I can get rid of my bench boost in 33, it means I can just focus all my attention on my starting 11, downgrade some of those bench players, move the money into the starting 11, and get the players, the best players every single game week that I want from game week 34 to game week 38, taking into consideration, there'll be rotations, there'll be teams on the beach come game week 36 and game week 37. I can take that into consideration. There'll be no worries there. That's kind of what I'm thinking right now, and obviously that is not locked in. Things can change very quickly, but there we go. Perhaps we'll talk more detail in a strategy stream about why Game Week 36 bench boost doesn't look so good and why 37 looks a bit better. But that's probably not for this stream. I mean, we can maybe talk about it in the stream, but I don't know if there's going to be really enough time. Really, it depends. If we run out of things to say, perhaps I'll talk about that there because it is interesting. Right, guys, so a couple of super chats to kick our stream off. We've got a super chat from Joywin Daniel, who says 2 free transfers, Salah and Jimenez to Ronaldo and Sancho. Also considering Madison instead of Jaden, dead ending into my 34 wildcard. Also got a free hit and a bench boost left for 36 and 37. So, Salah and Jimenez would be obvious players to get rid of. Am I confident in Sancho, however? I don't know. I've seen a few people kind of mention Jadon Sancho. You've also mentioned there Madison as a potential option instead of Jadon Sancho. I think I would actually be more tempted by Kai Havertz, if I'm honest. I mean, the next couple of game weeks look pretty good for Chelsea. Chelsea have got, It's Southampton this game week, and then next game week they've got a game against Arsenal. Yeah, perhaps that Arsenal game isn't amazing, but it's still pretty good. I certainly would want Havertz for this game week. Ronaldo I like, actually, to be fair, because I want to captain him in game week 33. So yeah, I like Ronaldo. Sancho, I guess you would get 3 fixtures in 2, and 2 of those fixtures would be against Norwich and Everton. But do we trust Sancho enough? Do we trust Sancho enough to go through with that? Oh, I'm not sure. I don't know. I feel like I trust Kai Havertz more in 2 fixtures than I do Sancho in 3. You've mentioned Madison there as well. I'd maybe be tempted by Barnes just because I think Barnes will get slightly more minutes than Madison. Barnes' underlying stats are actually better than Madison's as well. I know Madison has that wow factor, but Barnes is playing very well, and I think he's... I mean, maybe I'm wrong about this, but I just get the feeling he's slightly more nailed on than Madison at the moment. Not sure. I mean, maybe Madison, he just needs to keep playing just to keep his form up. But both Madison and Barnes played 90 minutes on Thursday, and they've got another, most likely, 90 minutes to play next Thursday in the Europa Conference League. So that is what is putting me off Leicester players a little bit at the moment. That's what's putting me off those Leicester outfield players anyway, should I say. So, I'm not desperate myself to get him Leicester players. Jadon Sancho is an interesting punt though, so... Why not? Peter Daniels says, hey, thanks for the stream. I need to bench 2 of Robbo, Trent, White, Martinelli and Weghorst. What do you think? Well, I said I was going to do a bench list earlier, and then I actually forgot. I forgot to make one, so we will be making one on stream regardless because we've got to have a bench list. So why don't we, Peter, start off our bench boost by including your how many players is it? 5 players. You need to bench 2, and let's just add them all. So let's start you off by adding in. Well, I've already put Weghorst in there technically. Let's go like Martinelli in. Actually, would I rather play Martinelli than Robertson? Yeah, I think I would. Thing is, if you have both Trent and Robertson, you're probably okay to bench one of them. If you only have one of them, you probably want to play them. That's the weird intricacy there that maybe the bench list doesn't quite work out, but maybe that's a weird way of looking at things anyway, to be honest. But yeah, I kind of like that. I kind of like that as it is. I think, and go with the have those. What was it? 5 players. You can only bench, or you can only play 3 of them, right? So that means you would play Trent, Martinelli, and Robertson, and you would bench Weghorst and White. The reasoning for that is, well, I mean, White is kind of obvious to put last because his ceiling is pretty much 6 points. You're unlikely to get more than 6 points from him, and that relies on Arsenal keeping a clean sheet. And with Arsenal, I know, he's a very good fixture. Brighton is a very good fixture if you want a clean sheet, a very good fixture indeed. But just because Tierney is still missing, Thomas Partey is now missing, Tomiyasu is still missing. Arsenal are starting to lack a few centre-backs, or not centre-backs, defensive players, and it's just not worth it. You know, you've got such a high ceiling from the other players. Trent and Robertson, I know a lot of you guys are not going to, I know a lot of you guys are just not going to want to play Trent and Robertson because you're just really scared of this Man City fixture, but you have to try and think of this game, you know, you have to try and think of Trent and Robertson as attackers, and the same works with Cancelo. And for that reason, I'm also going to put Cancelo kind of in the same region. You have to think of these players as attackers, and if you think this is going to be a low-scoring game, then that means you want to play your defenders because they'll keep clean sheets. If you think this is going to be a high-scoring game, then you want to play your attackers in this game. You want to play attackers from City, and you want to play attackers from Liverpool. Well, Trent, Cancelo, and Robertson are all attackers. They are all attackers. They all get goal contributions in, well, maybe not Cancelo so much, but certainly Trent and Robertson get attacking contributions in equal measures to many attackers. So it works both ways, and because of the quality of the players, you are going to get good results from them, even in a bad fixture. So I've been consistent on this all week, and I'm going to stay consistent with this. Whether you agree with me or not is perhaps a different question. And if you don't, you know, fair enough. If you're not confident in playing your Liverpool and City players, then don't do it. You don't have to do it. But for me, it's never been in doubt. I'm going to be playing these players for sure. Like, they're good players. They're good players. We gotta leave them in. We've got to leave them in. We've got some other super chats here from BNVR24 who says, "Hi Dan, Weghorst, Watkins, Ramsey, Johnny, bench 2. Okay, well let's just add Ramsey, and I suppose we'll just group up Wolves defenders as a second one. Like Johnny is a very special Wolves defender, so maybe he has his own special slot. But Ramsey against Spurs, I mean, he's a 4.5 million player. You're not expecting too much from him. Just you're going to just be benching him most of the time. Watkins, to be fair, Watkins isn't even as good as he's not as good as Ramsey really, even though he's more expensive. Forwards in general are probably going to go on your bench. Johnny is against Newcastle, but he's a kind of a special case in a way. He'd go there, even though I would potentially put the rest of the Wolves defenders here. So Johnny goes above the rest of the Wolves defenders just because Johnny is just has that attacking prowess. So yeah, we're gonna put him a little bit higher on the bench list, just a tiny bit higher. Thomas says, "Is it worth selling Coutinho? He has good games from 35 onwards. Who would you sell him for?" I would sell Coutinho. Yep. I would sell him for Havertz. Like I keep saying, Havertz is very much the midfielder that I like the look of the most. If I was to have to buy one midfielder, it would be Havertz. It wouldn't be Maddison. It wouldn't be Barnes. I know those are the players that I perhaps kind of thought I would like. But the more I think about it, the more information we get. You know, the information we got with the Leicester players playing 90 minutes in midweek. Havertz, yes, he played 90 minutes in midweek, but we also know that Lukaku is potentially carrying a knock that might rule him out for this game week, which enhances the chances of Havertz playing, and how crucial Havertz is to Chelsea making sure they get a top 4 position compared to those Leicester midfielders who it doesn't really matter in the Premier League. The Premier League is not their primary focus. They have a very clear priority competition here, whereas Chelsea don't have such clear priority competition. Every competition is a priority competition for Chelsea right now, which means they are perhaps a little bit more limited in their desire to rotate. They will still rotate to a degree, but they can't really afford to rotate too much. So yeah, lots of things are pointing me towards Havertz right now. And like I say, I'm jealous of you guys who are able to get him in, to be honest. Yeah, I am. But at the same time, like, I know you guys are talking about making transfers and stuff like that. I think you've got to, particularly if you've only got one transfer in the bank, or one transfer to use, I mean, there's got to be some serious consideration to roll this week. Serious consideration. I just, nah, not feeling it. Not feeling it. Who else should we add to the bench list, guys? Let's see if there's any suggestions. I'm seeing a few suggestions of Gordon. I think we can add Gordon in. I think, again, he's going to be pretty low. Pretty low, actually. You'd arguably put him even below Wolves defenders. Again, he's a cheap player. He's meant for your bench. He's meant for your bench. People are asking for Dennis. I don't know why you guys still have Dennis. He can go rock bottom. He is finished, really, isn't he? In terms of an FPL asset, he's long gone. We probably don't want to have him. Someone says Weghorst or Lacazette in the chat. I think we put Lacazette pretty high up on this bench list. Yeah, like, you know what? Oh, yeah, okay. I'm gonna put him here. Yeah, we're gonna put him here. Newcastle defenders. Okay, well, we can put Fabian Schär in. I think he goes in a decent position. Not an amazing position necessarily, but a decent position. You certainly probably think about him before most of the Wolves. Oh, God, what am I doing? It is a umlaut over the A. Is that what it's called, even when it's over an A? FPL Tyler in the chat says, Doherty, are we seriously thinking about benching Doherty? Are you serious? No way. He's going to the top. I'm putting him above... No, am I putting him above Trent? You know what? Yes, I am putting him above Trent. I actually am putting him above Trent. Mateta, who does he play? Leicester. Mateta can go... again, at the end of the day, forwards are just not going to be high ranking at all, no matter who they are. Cornet, he can go pretty high. In fact, he can go there. Cornet can go there. Not quite as good as the actual good players, but with the fixture that he has, you've got to put him reasonably high, I think, and the form as well. Yeah. Can you add Dennis to the bench? Dennis is on the bench list, DJ. He's on the bench list, and he's sitting rock bottom. I'm not even thinking about him. Tony, who does Tony play this game with? West Ham. I think I put Tony reasonably high. I think I put Tony above Mateta. Who do they play again? I need to remind myself who... It is West Ham, right? I'm on the wrong game week, that's why it says that. Yeah, Brentford against West Ham. It's a home game. Jammy penalties, potentially. It could happen. To be fair, West Ham defensively have not looked amazing recently. God, I can't believe how many different suggestions there are. I mean, the bench list has a potential of being the biggest bench boost ever. It's going to get messy. This is going to get messy. Matty Cash, why do so many people... you all have these players that I don't even consider people really having. You guys have got Matty Cash. Probably above Weghorst. But he's against Spurs, and they're probably going to concede. Right, okay, let's go there. Yeah, let's go there. Rahul Saikia says, I'm in a head-to-head mini-league. My opponent has both Son and Kane. So should I go for Salah and Weghorst to Maddison and Kane? I already have Son. I mean, to be honest, I don't really know too much about head-to-head mini leagues and how you should play them. Are you just looking to beat this one guy this one game week, or are you looking for the long term, or how? I don't know how you'd really strategize on that, and I suppose that depends on a lot of things in a head-to-head mini league. Salah and Weghorst to Maddison and Kane. I mean, I'm not that enthusiastic about, to be honest. I would probably just stick with Salah and Weghorst. To be honest, you already have Son, like you say. You can just captain Son. So no, I don't think I would make those moves. By the way, Martinelli is going to start this game week. He should do. The only reason he was benched last game week, and that's Martinelli's played every single game week. He's been available since game week 14, which is just insane. He's starting every single game. The only reason he didn't start last game week, which was the first time that he's been available and didn't start, was because he came back from quite late from international duty, and even so, he still managed to play 45 minutes. Came all the way back from Brazil. In 2 days, he played 45 minutes. That's how important he is. So he is going to be starting. I don't see how he wouldn't. Thomas Sheen, the cocktail fanatic, says Weghorst over Shah. Love the stuff, mate. Weghorst over Shah. I mean, according to the bench list, Weghorst is indeed over Shah. But I think that's more to do with backing the attack, because Shah loses a lot of his appeal as soon as a goal is conceded. And even though Wolves haven't... I mean, Wolves are typically known as a defensive team, but they have actually kind of been scoring a few goals recently. What was it? 2 against Villa, 2 against Leeds. I've missed a game week somewhere there. Who did they beat? Someone the week before that? Was it West Ham or someone? No, I didn't miss a game week. So yeah, they scored 2 against Aston Villa. They scored 2 against Leeds. They scored 1 against Everton. They scored nothing. Yeah, maybe going back a bit, yeah, you can see that they're not scoring so many goals. But you know, last couple of game weeks they have been scoring a couple of goals, and the striker Fabio's been doing pretty well. Podence is looking good. Johnny has become a really good attacker, even though he's a defender. So yeah, I think it is actually worth backing the attacker on that one. You could play Share if you want to, but yeah, I'm not going to put him higher in the bench list, personally. Chris Freddy says, "Sup, brother? Transferring Antonio or Tony for Dennis?" Neither. Neither. Dennis, you know, we're talking about forwards. We don't really like forwards right now. So if we are saying we don't like forwards, and we are all probably switching to these one forward formations, which we are all switching to one forward formations, there's no point upgrading. Just like downgrade him. Downgrade Dennis, don't upgrade him. Downgrade him to Mateta. Downgrade him to Coutinho. You don't want to be upgrading forwards anymore. That is a thing of the past, I think. Anirudh says, whom to bring in, Zaha or Maddison for Martinelli? Neither. Just keep Martinelli. You don't need to remove Martinelli. And Real Novice says, missed my super chat. Oh, have I missed a super chat? Let's scroll back. Was it potentially a little bit earlier on in the stream where I was nattering on? Do I have access to old super chats? I can't scroll back that far. So Real Novice, I will keep an eye out for your normal chat. Just put in a normal chat, and I will try and answer your normal chat as if it were a super chat, because I can't find your super chat, unfortunately. It must have disappeared. I actually wonder if YouTube actually sometimes doesn't show you all of them, because I don't actually get to see everything in the chat. It filters it, and I can't work out what it's filtering it based on. Obviously, it removes spam and stuff like that, and I just can't see any of the spammy stuff. And anything that's got something a bit dodgy in the messages, they don't come up in the chat. So there is a bit of filtering going on that YouTube does, and I don't really know the rules of the filtering. So yeah, potentially I've missed it that way. But yes, like I say, Real Novice, put something in the chat. Here we go. It's looking to bench boost in 33, have 2 free transfers and no clue what to do because my team is so solid. Can do Shah or 6 million midfielder or replacement for double game week player for Jimenez of a similar price. I mean, yeah, you're potentially looking, if you're looking to bench boost in 33, you're going to have to remove Jimenez at some point anyway. So pick a forward that you want to get rid of. Unless you want to try and get a Ronaldo in or a Kane in next game week using 2 transfers. Or you could even do that now if you wanted to. But Jimenez will be the player to remove. 6 million midfielders. I mean, maybe a Ryan Fraser. Ryan Fraser maybe as a cheap, or Martinelli. You could go for one of them. Or like you say, Fabian Schär, who is a player I would probably bring in. If you're looking to bench boost in 33, Schär would be very high on my priority list. So yeah, Schär, a Martinelli or a Fraser for a midfielder. Or you can maybe do a Jimenez replacement, although you would be looking to downgrade. You say, and like this seems to be a bit of a theme here. People are looking for Jimenez replacements of a similar price, or Antonio replacements of a similar price, or Dennis replacements of a similar price. Forget it. Honestly, just forget it. That mid-range of forwards, like if we just go and have a look at forwards and sort by price, Kane and Ronaldo look good. Look pretty good to go for the next few game weeks, both of them. Kane for the rest of the season, Ronaldo more temporarily. Then we have this massive void of players you probably don't want to go for. Lukaku, Vardy, Firmino, Werner. You're not going to want to touch any of those guys. I'm sure you guys will agree. Like I said, it's okay to keep, but you're probably not looking to actually actively bring him in right now. Jesus, no. Cavani, no. Ings, no. Calvert-Lewin, Bamford, Watkins, Richarlison, Antonio. You're probably going to be... I know you guys are going to be tempted by Richarlison because you saw his score. He did play quite well, but he did score 2 penalties, and he hasn't been performing at all for a long time. And he hasn't got any double game weeks right until the end of the season, so Richarlison is kind of not a priority at all. So again, Richarlison's off the list. Antonio, you're not going to go for. Jimenez, no. Wilson, no. Iheanacho and Daka, super rotation risk. Adams is okay to hold, but unless you already have him, you're probably not going to want to bring him in. Same thing with Tony. Saint-Maximin and Wood are okay just because they have a double game week, but if they didn't have a double game week, you wouldn't even be thinking about them. Morpay, absolutely not. Weghorst, again, unless you already have them, you're not going to be looking to bring them in. Edouard is out of the game. Rodrigo's okay, but not amazing. Benteke is out of the game. Ronda's out of the game. When I say out of the game, like they're not even playing many minutes. Welbeck is not an option either. You see what I mean? We are still going. Pookie's okay. Dennis is no. Ayew is no. Joelinton is no. Armstrong no. King no. Fabio no. Broja is okay to hold, just gets a double game week next week, but in general is a no. Nketiah is no. Sargent's a no. Long's a no. João Pedro's a no. Huang's a no. And then we got Mateta. So pretty much, guys, between Ronaldo and Mateta, there are no players you would actually want to actively bring in right now. There is nothing in the, a 7 million void between Ronaldo and Mateta. And that is just explains this FPL season to a T. There is nothing there you want to go for in a 7 million void. So forget about looking for players of a similar price. If that means you have to, if that means you have to have money in the bank, so what? You'll spend it next game week on upgrading a defender or upgrading a midfielder, and that defender/midfielder will get you so many points. You don't even have to do that move this week. You can just save it and do it next game week. That is the play right now. Forget the mid-priced forward. The mid-priced forward is dead. It is a dead position. You don't want to think about it. I mean, this is just my opinion, of course, but you don't want to be thinking about it anymore. So just go with a cheapy player and use that money to upgrade one of your midfielders to a Havertz. Or upgrade one of your defenders to a Cancelo or a Reece James or a someone in that kind of bracket. Or if you haven't got both Trent and Robertson, you can maybe think about getting Robertson in from next game week. You can use that money to upgrade and get a Son or a Ronaldo. Or there's so many options that do not involve getting in a mid-price forward. So in my opinion, forget all of them. Don't even think about getting any of them. I am certainly not going to be the guy to recommend any of them. And that is the T. That is the T. Right, we've got a few more super chats, don't we? Hopefully, I'm going to try and make sure I don't miss any more. So we're going to look very, very carefully through the chat and make sure I haven't missed any. So Chris Freddy says, okay, Mateta for Dennis and Brownhill for 2.9 extra in the bank. Thanks, by the way. It's no problem, Chris. You're doing super chats. I should be thanking you. You don't have to spend it right now. If you don't want to spend it, you don't have to do it right now. I think people get impatient and think they have to spend all of their money. Well, actually, you'll probably find next game week, you'll be thanking this week's version of you that you didn't spend the money, because now you'll have so many more options at your disposal. So you don't have to make you don't have to do the upgrade. You really don't. 2.9 in the bank, particularly for a -4, you don't have to do anything. I mean, maybe use it to upgrade someone. Like I say, you can upgrade to Havertz or someone in midfield. You can. You don't even have to remove Brownhill. He's got an okay fixture this game week, double game week, next game week. It's okay. It's not bad. You probably do want someone better for the long term. But if you're just looking for a bench, if they're just going to be on your bench anyway, who cares? Who cares? That's fine. Brownhill's fine for your bench. So yeah, I would say just save the cash. Veg says thoughts on Reece James placed on the bench list. He doesn't even come into question on the bench list. He is going. If you have him, he goes right to the top. I'm not saying he's guaranteed to start, but if you don't want to miss out on the possibility of him starting, I would probably say that James has probably got a 75% chance of starting this game week. It's pretty good. 70% is pretty good odds. And if he does, he can go nuclear. He can go 15-pointer. He might also not start and get a 1-pointer. He might even start and get a 1-pointer. But you've got to put yourself in a position. And when you start messing about with James, sometimes playing him, sometimes not playing him, trying to guess when he's going to start, trying to guess when he's going to go nuclear, you're going to get it wrong and you are going to miss out on huge hauls. So if you are a James owner, just play him every week and hope. That is the James way. The James way. Femi says play Sarr or Dubravka. Oh God, I don't know. I've been asked that a couple of times this game week and I cannot figure it out. I think I would lean towards. I actually don't know. You're going to have to flip a coin, Femi. I'm so sorry. And then you say downgrade Jimenez to Coutinho. Yeah, you could do that. I'm not sure if I'm free hitting next week and I don't want to potentially lose the 2 free transfers if I roll them. Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, in that case, make the transfer. Jimenez to Coutinho or Jimenez to Mateta. Those would be the 2 players. Like I say, we want to be downgrading significantly. And Coutinho and Mateta are the 2 players I like the most. That's kind of, that's if you've got bench boost plans, if you're going to bench boost in 36, then go for Coutinho. If you're going to bench boost in 37, go for Mateta, I think. I mean, it doesn't matter. They both have a double game week, and one will have a double. Well, Coutinho has a double game week in 36, and Mateta has a double game week in 37. So you're going to get a double game week out of either of them. So yeah, I think I just slightly prefer Mateta out of those 2, to be honest. So there we go. There we go. That's what I would do. Shuaib Khan says, if you had to pick one, Maddison or Kulusevski, I think I'd go for Kulusevski. I think. For now. For this game week, I'd probably go for Kulusevski. But going forward, maybe we're looking at Maddison. If Maddison actually plays multiple games in a double game week, then that's going to be pretty good, right? But we don't know. We don't know. So, yeah. Right. Any big... I mean, lots of people asking for Coutinho on the bench list. He plays against Leeds, right? Is it Leeds? Yeah, Leeds at home. It's pretty good, to be fair, as a fixture. It's better than Mateta's fixture, but is he a better player than Mateta? That is where the questions arise. I am going to put him... Oh, it's going to be in this region, but I'm not exactly sure. I'm just going to put... Just because I can't decide, I'm going to put him in the middle there. On the bench list. Bench list Dallo. You guys have Dallo? He's too differential to go on the bench list. I don't want to put players who are too differential on the bench list because it's just a waste of time. Because it just doesn't help enough people. And it takes up valuable bench list space. We're already running out of space. We've got 25 minutes. Moises in the chat says Cody to Castagna. Castan. No, I don't want any Leicester players personally. I don't want any Leicester defenders. 2 rotation risks. I'm not even thinking about them. If you could potentially change your mind and go for one next game week, but for right now, there's not much point. There really isn't much point. Chris says, when do you plan on using your last free hit? I got 1 left. I don't have a free hit left. I've already used mine. Which is probably why I've got a decent rank at the moment. It's because I've spunked all my chips. Other than the bench boost, obviously. So, free hit, 33, 36, and 37. Those are the 3 remaining double game weeks. those are going to be the ones that you target. So pick one. When does your team look the worst out of 33, 36, and 37? And that is your answer. I think I'd be most tempted. If I had a free hit right now personally, I think I would be free hitting in 36. I think that's what I'd be doing. A few people want to see my team. Yeah, you can see my team very, very briefly. I don't know if it's that interesting. It's not really. I haven't even made a transfer for weeks. You know what? I haven't actually made a transfer since game week 30, I think. No, 29. What was 29? Was 29 blank? Was it 30 blank game? Yeah, game week 29 was the last time I made a transfer. And that was the week I took a -12. So I've just found myself, I used all of my week's worth of transfers in one game week, and I just haven't made one since. Free hit in 30, obviously. Didn't make one in 31. And even 32, I'm just going to be transferring on my bench. So it's the same squad. We're rocking the same squad, pretty much. Why is Dennis so low? Because he doesn't even start anymore. Not even in the starting lineup. Like, Dennis is like way, he's nowhere. I mean, where is he on this list? Dropped. Coutinho is the new Dennis. If you're looking for more Watford forward pain, Coutinho is your man. I mean, look at Dennis, man. Like, and all of those games, so since game week 22, he has 1 goal contribution. One. Coutinho, on the other hand, is the new Dennis. Look at this. 2 goals against Southampton, a goal and an assist against Arsenal. He even got a goal against Wolves. Unfortunately, it was in the wrong end. But he's still, it's technically a goal. You know, he scored. He was on the score sheet. When you look at the score sheet at the end of the Wolves versus Watford game, he's on there. Coutinho's on there. So, you know, goal contribution technically. Yeah, it counts. They all count. But yeah, Coutinho is the new man. He is the new Watford man to carry Watford out of the relegation zone. If it happens. If it happens. I don't know if it will. Right, back to my team there. This is the lineup up. I'm probably going to have to make my transfer very, very soon as well. Just get it out the way, over and done with. Milat in the chat says Coutinho is my captain this week. So there we go. That is an interesting one. I don't know if I go quite that far. Ebuka says Weghorst bench against Norwich. Hell yeah. We are benching him. I mean, I wouldn't even be surprised if Weghorst was dropped. He takes like 1 shot every 2 games. It's not the right numbers. Balinda G says, "Hey mate, I have Kulusevski, Martinelli, James. Pick 2. Any advice?" Are they all 3 of them on the bench list? Kulusevski is not on there. Martinelli and James are. So James is there. Martinelli's on there. We just need to place Kulusevski, don't we? I think I'll actually put Kulusevski slightly below Martinelli this game week, but not by a long stretch. Where would I put Kulusevski? Like here, I guess. He gets preferential treatment because he's a midfielder and not a defender, I suppose. You want me to add Harvey Barnes? Oh, wow, no. Fine. I'm going to put Barnes and Maddison together, though, just to save space a little bit. Barnes and Maddison, where are we going to put them? It's a decent fixture. They've got decent form, but they're not quite... I mean, it's not an amazing fixture. And there is potential rotation. So for that reason, I'm going to put them there, I think. Yeah. Yep. Smith Rowe? You guys have Smith Rowe? He's not even starting. Smith Rowe ain't going to start. I mean, he might, but he won't. But he might. But he won't. Can you add Edouard to the list? Are you kidding? Right. Let's put this one, this category. Why do you still have... Oh, actually, let's just name them players from 2021. So that includes Edouard. as well as Dennis. So, throwback players. Major throwbacks. Major throwbacks like Dennis and Edouard can stay where they belong. Thrown back. They don't even play. Well, I mean, Dennis has been playing a little bit. Well, pretty much a lot, but he got dropped finally last game week, and I don't expect him to just instantly come back into the team. Coutinho's just playing better. Coutinho's the man. I mean, not that they can't both play them both, to be fair, but you've got Josh King there potentially as well. João Pedro. There's options in the attacking positions for Sarr as well, who's probably going to be starting every game, almost. Right. Someone says King and Huang. So King and Huang as throwback players can also go there. Why do you guys still have these players? Get rid. I mean, you don't even have to get rid of them, but you should know by now that they just sit on your bench, right? A couple of super chats, so let's catch up on the super chats as well. Santiago says, Dan, Sancho, Foden, Martinelli or Havertz for a -4. Havertz is my guy, I think. Havertz is the player I'd want the most right now out of those midfielders. Damien Fats says, Gilmour or Weghorst on the bench. Well, play Weghorst over Gilmour. Look, I know Weghorst has not been playing that well. Put Gilmour. Come on, he's like a 4.2 million midfielder that you just pick. You only pick him in your team to save money. Like he may as well be a blank spot. That's why you pick Billy Gilmour. He's not really an FPL asset. So yeah, I know I've not been particularly kind about Weghorst and his prospects. He does have some prospects. He's still a very good player who can turn it on. We just haven't seen much of it very recently, or seen any of it for several months. But he's still better than Gilmour. As an FPL asset, this is. I'm not saying Gilmour's a bad player. God, is that where we're at? Where we're considering playing Billy Gilmour ahead of Weghorst? Tell me you've been hurt by Weghorst without telling me you've been hurt by Weghorst. Oh dear. Right. A few people asking about captains, actually. I can see Damien is the most recent person to ask about captains. Saka or Havertz for captain? Havertz I'd be very tempted by. Personally, I would advise to stick with the trusted and trialed Kane and Son for your captain. If not, Havertz is a good differential, Saka's a good differential, and if you just failing all else, just go for Salah. But Havertz I do quite like, to be fair. Anyone asking for Cody? He's already on there under Wolves defenders. Iheanacho, you can have Iheanacho with these guys. He can actually no. Iheanacho goes lower than those guys, to be honest. Where am I actually rating Iheanacho? Like here, maybe. Not very high. Someone say Ronaldo. You don't want Ronaldo on the bench list, do you? Samuel says put Roberts and Laporte on the list. Okay, we can do that. Let's just beef up the list at this point. It's going to get messy, but we're going to do it anyway. So Laporte, I would actually kind of rate below a lot of players. I would probably be wanting to bench Laporte like all the way down to here because I don't think he's going to get a goal and I don't think he's going to get a clean sheet. I don't think he's going to get attacking returns. I can't see him getting points this game week, to be honest. So Laporte is actually going pretty low. Who was the other player? I can't remember. I've forgotten. Ethan says, Elise to Martinelli or Cornet and Adams to Mateta? No, neither. Don't do anything. Don't do those. Don't. Oh, Elise to Martinelli or Cornet plus Adams to Mateta. Right, I see what you're saying. No, just keep Elise. He could be back this game week, right, Elise? Adams to Mateta. I don't think you really need to do that this game week. I mean, there's argument, to be fair, to say Elise to Martinelli In fact, let's say that. Elise to Martinelli, why not? Let's do Elise to Martinelli. I do like Martinelli as a pick, to be fair. He has a better pick than Elise right now. Belinda G says, hello. Hey there again. Thinking of selling Dennis. Long-term Mateta fixtures look better, but Coutinho looks like more minutes. What are your thoughts? I don't really have any strong opinion in the Coutinho versus Mateta debate. I would probably... You kind of got to look at your team and think, are you actually going to play either of these players? And if you are, who's going to play the most for your team? It's probably going to be... The thing is, Coutinho can be removed from the Watford team at any minute. At any minute, there's just going to be a change, and Coutinho's going to be out of the team, and then Dennis and King are suddenly preferred again, and João Pedro's preferred again, and Sarr is preferred, and Coutinho's kind of out of the lower down the pecking order again. That could happen. Mateta is more likely to be in the Crystal Palace for the team for the rest of the season, but Crystal Palace are going to find themselves, so later on we go in the season, Crystal Palace are going to have less and less and less to play for until they're just rotation crazy, and they're already pretty rotation crazy. So I actually don't know who's looking better for minutes. I don't have any strong opinions about who's the better pick out of Mateta and Coutinho. So if you like the look of Coutinho more for minutes, or if you like the look of Mateta more for fixtures, you just got to choose which one is your priority and go for that and go with your gut on that one. Like I say, I know that's not the answer you wanted. I don't like sitting on the fence really, but no, I don't have strong opinions on that one. I probably lean towards Mateta personally, I think, but there's not much in it. That's if I've gone to my head, I have to choose one. I'm going for Mateta. Ellie's Games says Bruno and Fraser in the list, and Bruno good captain. Bruno's not going in on the list. If you're not playing Bruno, you have lost the plot. You've gone crazy, and you don't deserve the advice. I'm using this phrase a little bit more. If you are thinking about benching Bruno, and I say this on different game weeks, like some people say, shall I bench Kane this game week? No! If you need me to tell you that, then FPL is probably not the game for you. And to be fair, you don't need me to tell you that. You know you're going to play Bruno. You know you're going to play Bruno. So let's not even put him on the list. You don't need me to tell you that. You don't need me. You don't need me. Turn the stream off. Put your feet up. You got this. You got this, bro. Fraser in the list. I mean, yeah, we could potentially put Fraser in the list. Don't really know where. He wouldn't be that high this game week against Wolves. Be pretty low. Maybe like here. We're filling up. Bowen, Rafinha, play them. They are not going on the bench list. You play Bowen. You play Rafinha. Don't even think about not playing them. Jota, if you have him, play him, I guess. Where would I actually put Jota, though? That's a good question. I would put him pretty high, I think. Would I even put him at the top? Would I? If I had Jota, would I put him at the top? Yeah, he would be one of the first names on my team sheet, to be fair. So yeah, I wouldn't even be thinking about benching Jota, which very much incites the debate. Why is he going on the bench list? He doesn't deserve. He is too good for the bench list. Players can be too good for the bench list. Connor Roberts, I will add just because I have Connor Roberts in my team, and I'm having to make this decision. I can't decide who's going first on my bench out of Roberts and Beckhorst, so I suppose he goes there. Although really, would I really want him ahead of White and Johnny? I mean, to be fair, Norwich cannot score for hell. So yeah, I am going to put him there. Weghorst above Mateta? No, Mateta is... Wait, Mateta's here and Weghorst is down here. So I would put Mateta over Weghorst this week. Havertz is not going on the list. Right. Apex Antics, just because I like Apex Legends, I will add your request of Mitchell, who's playing against Leicester. And he's going to be pretty low. He's not going to be too interesting. He's going to be a pretty boring one, down low. Nothing really interesting. Ethan says Dallo to Adorti and Adams to Mateta for a -4 instead. Can you just do... How do you need to do these transfers? Dallo, if he starts against Everton, is a good clean sheet and potential attacking returns. Adams to Mateta. Adams has got double game week next game week. You're probably going to want to have Adams next game week. Again, don't like it. Don't like it, I'm afraid. I would say just save your transfers. Don't take a -4. I think this goes back to the thing. You know, people feel like they have to make transfers all the time. You don't. You don't have to make transfers. People saying I need to make a transfer. I have to make a transfer because I've got 2 transfers in the bank. But if you only have 1 transfer in the bank and your team actually looks okay and you're not actually fully convinced by any move, roll the transfer. There is nothing wrong with rolling the transfer. I did it last week and it worked out fine. If I had made transfers last game week, even the transfers I was considering, I was never realistically going to do them. But even the ones I thought I could technically do if I really wanted to, which I didn't really want to, if I did go ahead and make those transfers, I would have been down like, I don't know, probably like 10 or more points. So I would have lost out on making a transfer. So by not making a transfer last week, I'm up about 10 points and I have an additional free transfer to use. This is fantastic news. This is amazing. Everything is wonderful. Adam Weiss in the chat says Creswell for Tierney or who? I don't think I would bring in Creswell, no. Tierney replacements are Reece James, Matt Doherty, or Fabian Schär. So whoever you can afford out of those 3, if you can afford James, go for him. If you can't afford James, but you can afford Doherty, go for Doherty, which you should be able to. Doherty is cheaper than Tierney, so he's a really obvious replacement. But if you already have him or you can't afford him, then maybe go for Fabian Schär. That's what I would do. That's what I would do. So we're going to make a transfer on my team now, and we are going to go for a slightly Danish Kasper Schmeichel. Yeah, like the look of him. Double game week in 33, Newcastle and Everton. Got to be a clean sheet in there, surely. They kept a clean sheet in the Europa League, by the way. They are looking now that we've got Evans and Fofana back for Leicester. I think their defensive fortunes are going to turn around, which I will be banking on. They've got another double game week in 36, Everton and Norwich. Oh my word, that's 2 clean sheets if I ever did see 2 clean sheets, right? And we've got Watford and Chelsea in game week 37. Again, Watford, you kind of acknowledge the fact that there could be a clean sheet there. So clean sheets galore. And he's going to be a really nice goalkeeper to have on my bench for a bench boost alongside Ramsdale in a future game week, because I will still play Ramsdale this week. But in a future game week, that's going to be really, really nice to rotate Kasper and with Aaron Ramsdale and also bench boost and have them both going on at the same time. It's going to be phenomenal. It's going to be phenomenal. So I like this one. So that's my free transfer. It's just a boring bench transfer this game week. We are setting up for future game weeks. This is the great thing about planning really far ahead, is that you find yourself actually not needing to make any transfers desperately. So that's what we're going to be doing. We're going to make some very non-desperate transfers. De Gea out, Schmeichel in. Confirm those transfers. There we go. Schmeichel stays on the bench. And that is my final team for game week 32. Bing, bang, bada, boom. Easy as that. Easy as that. Steve says it's pronounced Dorhad. Right. After the deadline goes past, we are having a serious chat about Matt Doherty. We are having a serious chat about Matt Doherty and the pronunciation of his name. We are doing it, and you're going to enjoy it, because I've got a rant prepared for this one, actually. I've been thinking about this one a lot. I've got a rant prepared. So after the deadline passes, we are going to talk about Matt Doherty and my issue with his name pronunciation. And in the meantime, Adam Weiss says, missed my super chat, Chris Wolf. Oh no, I'm sorry, Adam. During the time between me answering your super chat, you must have put in another super chat. I do appreciate it. But yeah, like we said, in terms of your Tierney replacements, I don't like Creswell. I like James, and then I like Doherty, and finally I like Schär. Do you believe in picking Fabian Schär? I do believe in picking Fabian Schär. I do. I'm getting a bit hyperactive, as you can probably tell, as we approach deadline. Always happens. Aranya says, bench 1, Ramsey or Cody. Let's consult the bench list for this one, boys. Who was it? So Cody comes under Wolves defenders, so that's pretty low. Ramsey is a little bit higher. So if we're completely honest, neither are particularly high priorities. So if you don't like the look of this order, then fair enough. But I have put Ramsey ahead of Wolves defenders. I don't think that, the Spurs defense is not impenetrable. It is not impenetrable. On the other hand, Wolves have just not been keeping many clean sheets recently. And who was it? It was Seiss, wasn't it? No, Cody, sorry. Yeah, he's got a 6-point maximum. So, I don't know. Dilnam says Gabriel or Doherty for this week only. I don't think I'd be going for Gabriel. That seems a bit random. You'd basically be really hoping that Gabriel gets a goal from a corner header, right? It's a big ask. You'd be depending solely on luck. For this week only, I'll go for Doherty. I think he's playing really well. Nidish says, who to play, Cher or Dennis/Davis? Davis? Who is Davis? I don't even know who that is. I'm guessing it's like a 4.5 million forward or something. I guess play Cher. Add a Marty to the list. Marty's just such rotation risk. I don't think he's really a consideration. We've got to put him really low. Still above Dennis, Edouard, King and Huang though. I think we surely must be coming to the end of the bench list now. There can't be too many other players. Shah is a luxury transfer. Sorry, I keep saying Shah. Cher is a luxury transfer. Yep, like it. Stian says, I start Cher because you put him low. Fair enough. I mean, to be fair, I'm probably being a little bit harsh on him down there. But he is a cheap... These cheap players, they're not really designed for you to play them every week. Like, you're not going to play a Cher above like a Trent, are you? I don't know. Mateta over Weghorst. Yeah, people keep questioning Mateta over Weghorst. Yeah, I am putting... If you don't like it, then ignore me. Ignore me. Start Van Dijk or Laporte. Probably Van Dijk. If you had to choose one. Ben Davies. It's not Davis, it's Davies. Ben Davies. He's okay. He's not exactly great. Nick Hornler says Son versus Kane captain. I would go for Kane if you have both. Right. I'm gonna leave the bench list on screen. Let's just do a refresh here just to make sure my team is all in order. I'm going to go for Roberts instead of Weghorst. He's arguably a little bit risky. Maybe I just need to put Weghorst in to cover. Cover his EO. Nah. I'm going to go with my gut. On this one. Yeah, this is my final team. There we go. Bada bing, bada boom. Happy with that. It's a good team. I'm happy with my team. We're going to leave the bench boost just so you can very quickly have a look and make any final changes. On captains, the most obvious captains, guys, Kane and Son. If you have Kane, pick him. If you don't have Kane, pick Son. If you don't have Son, pick whoever you want. After that, you can pick one of Havertz, Salah, Saka, potentially Bruno Fernandes if you have him, Cristiano Ronaldo if you have him. Pick your favourite. But if you have Son or Kane, those are the two players I would go for. We are very close to deadline. Edouard replacements, please, Dan. I think you're too late, Tony. By the time my voice reaches your screen, there's not going to be enough time for you to make a transfer. The answer is Cucho or Mateta, but you're probably a bit late for this. Maybe next week. Fernandez, yes. Start the deadline. I know you guys are trying to get in your questions nice and late, but the deadline has passed. We have passed the deadline, guys. We are locked in. The bench list no longer serves a purpose because whatever order your bench is the final order of your bench. There's nothing that can be done. It is all over. Whoever you were left the captain's armband on is done. Congratulations, guys. We survived yet another build-up to an FPL deadline. Wow. To be honest, I don't think this has been a very stressful one. Sometimes you get a really stressful game week where it's like really stressful who you're going to captain, who you're going to transfer in. For me personally, it wasn't very stressful at all because I didn't really do anything. So, yeah. I Love NCS says, will we have the post-deadline show? Hell yeah. We're going to be on for another half an hour whilst we await the team news of the Newcastle versus Wolves game. After that, we will end the stream. So we're going to wait for the team news. We're going to go over the team news, the final team news that is, and then we're going to end the stream. But between now and the end, we're going to just be talking a lot of nonsense. We're going to be talking a lot of nonsense. I enjoy nonsense, so that's absolutely fine. That's what we're going to be doing. Guys, yeah, I think we'll do a couple of polls as well. We'll do a captain's poll. We'll see who you guys captained. I'll add that to this chat in a second. Yeah, I'm going to do my Doherty rant as well that I promised you, which I'm very keen to do, actually, because I gotta, what really grinds my gears. But yeah, guys, if you are not interested in that stuff and you are just you just were enjoying the deadline antics, then thank you so much for sticking with me. Please do leave a like and do subscribe before you disappear. If you want to stay on for the nonsense for the next half an hour, talk a little bit about FPL, talk a little bit about other random stuff, and then we'll talk about the team reveals from Newcastle and Wolves tonight. Then do stick around. We are not going anywhere. There we go. We're going to do a couple of polls and stuff. Yeah, it's going to be good fun. Right. First of all, I think we should do a captaincy poll. So let me add that to the chat. First of all, guys, who should go in the poll? Who is going to be the most popular captain? So definitely Kane and Son. So Kane, Son. After that, he's kind of like Salah. He's probably going to be still fairly popular. So what we're going to do is I think there's going to be a big spread outside of Kane and Son. So what we'll do is we're going to do Kane, Son, Salah, and we're going to put other as the final option. We've got a super chat saying, Dan, I am drunk and I love you. Thanks for all your help. Vishal, did you just drunk text to me? Did you just drunk super chat me? You're going to check your bank balance tomorrow morning and be like, why did I super chat FPL Mate? Who is FPL Mate? And what is this super chat thing? What did I do last night? That's going to be you, Vishal. But thank you, mate. I really do appreciate that. I'm glad you're enjoying this stuff. Right, so guys, captain poll is going to go in. Who do you captain for Gameweek 32? Kane, Son, Salah, or other? It's in. We're going to wait until 1,000 votes and then we will announce the winner. Should we do some kind of commentary as well? I think we should. We'll do a bit of commentary on the poll as well. I like a bit of commentary. So, Kane has taken the early lead with 45% of the votes. Son there in second with 38%. Salah is lagging behind on 7%. I do kind of expect that. We have seen other at 10% though, but we've got Kane at an insane 47%. So we are expecting Kane to have an incredible effective ownership right now. We've got 264 votes at the moment. Let's see how far we can go. Can Kane get any higher? He's at 47%. Son at 35%. So it's actually looking kind of, Kane and Son are in competition right now. A lot of people are going for Son. A lot of people are going for Kane. Not many people are going for Salah. 11% for other now. Can we get other a little bit higher? Are there going to be any other captains? Are we talking Saka? Are we talking Havertz? Are we talking, maybe, I don't know. Who else are people captaining right now? Maybe a Doherty if you've got a faith in him. I've seen people captaining Bowen. Is there going to be any of players like that? Who is going to be in the other category? Not many players. Kane has slipped now to 47%, so Kane is coming down a little bit. Can Son catch up? I don't think he can. Son is at 36, however, so that is pretty good. Salah is still at 7%, so Salah, not many people interested. Other is even beating Salah, which is quite incredible. Embarrassing for Salah. Salah having been so important as a captain choice all season, finds himself well and truly in the mud for game week 32. So Salah in his least desirable game, Man City away, is obviously the worst fixture a player can possibly have, and that is reflected in Salah being so low in the poll. We are on 562 votes so far. If we can get this to 1,000 votes, then potentially we can end this and talk about something else. We're on 582 votes. Get your votes in. We are going to end this commentary. We're going to end this poll at 1,000 votes. Who is going to be the winner? Son is actually making a late charge here. Kane is down to 44% now, down from 47. Son is up to 39%. This is pretty impressive. So we are looking very nice there for Son. If you are a Son, owner right now, if you're a Son captainer right now, your faith must be starting to rise. Kane captainers, could they be in the mud or could they retain their title? Let's find out. We're on 631 votes so far. Guys, I mean, actually, is there even 1,000 people listening? No, there's just over 1,000 people viewing right now. So I don't think we're going to get to 1,000 votes. I don't think I'm going to get to 1,000 votes today. It's not possible. It's just not the one. So let's end it at 700. If we get to 700 votes, we'll end it there and declare the winner for this week's captaincy poll. I mean, it's Kane and Son dominant. It really is. We're 12 more votes, guys. Can't believe we're not going to get 1,000 votes today. People are actually actively leaving the stream because they're just thinking, oh, this is not what I want. This is not the content I signed up for, which is true. Okay, we've got 708 votes. We're going to end the poll there. I know this chat will be slightly, my voice will be slightly delayed. But there we go. The final results are Kane 43%, Son 39%, other 10%, and Salah 6%. And I do think, to a degree, we might be in a bit of a microcosm here. Because I'm captaining Son, because I'm a Son owner, and you guys are obviously FPL Mate viewers, I do wonder if that has had an impact on Son's popularity. Because I do think Kane is going to be the heavy favourite captain this game week among the overall FPL player base, or certainly in the higher rankings. So yeah, even though it's Kane 43, Son 39, I don't know if that really represents the full story. Salah down at 6% is, I mean, I don't know. I thought Salah would be more like 10%. He's a bit lower than I thought, to be honest. Quite interesting. Tech XEO says Differential King brought in and captained Rashford. Jesus Christ, he's not very good at FPL. Vishal says, yes, bro, I drunk super chat you and you are the best FPL YouTuber. I love you. Huge fan, man. You are the best. We'll love to meet you on a reel someday. Well, I mean, I go to FPL events in the UK fairly regularly. So if you're ever in the UK, then come to one of these FPL events and, we can, hopefully we'll both be drunk. And then who knows what will happen. But no, I appreciate that, man. I really do appreciate it. Simon says, use small words. Micro what? A microcosm. How do I describe the word? Microcosm, it kind of just means like an echo chamber. You heard the phrase echo chamber before? It doesn't quite mean the same thing, but this is kind of what I'm trying to get at, is that we are kind of in a small world, a sub-universe. So say you've got the whole universe of FPL, we are in a mini universe within the universe. So we're in our own mini section. I've got like light bouncing off my face today. I didn't even notice that. That's annoying. Yeah, we're kind of in like a little mini world of our own, a little bit, in terms of people who favour Son, because obviously I'm favouring Son. A lot of you guys who watch my videos might find yourself naturally leaning towards Son over Kane, just because I'm hyping him up a lot over Kane. Oh, to be fair, I do hype up Kane as well. So there we go. Yeah, microcosm. Right, Doughty. I know that, I mean, guys, are there any Irish people in the chat? Are there any Irish people in the chat right now? Because you guys, obviously you watch a lot of people make FPL content. And right now in FPL content, a lot of people are talking about Matt Doughty. And that is a problem for Irish people because there is an ongoing debate on the correct pronunciation of the name Doughty. And Irish people will say constantly, and honestly, every video I make, no matter how I pronounce Doughty, I've tried like 5 or 6 different pronunciations. Everyone is wrong. Every time I say it, I get 5 comments saying, you are saying his name wrong. This is my problem with the criticism. We've got a few Irish people up in the house, right? Guys, this chat is for you. this chat is for you. And I really hope you guys can get where I'm coming from here. I really hope you can get where I'm coming from. So, it's hard to say Doherty's name if you are not Irish. If you say his name in an Irish accent, it's easy. It's very easy. You can say, oh, his name's Matt Doherty. It's Doherty. What do you mean? It's Doherty. That's how you say it, Doherty. But how stupid would it be if every time I said the name Doherty, I suddenly broke out into an Irish accent? And I'm probably still not doing it right. I said, oh yes, I've got Cancelo in my team, I've got Doherty, I've got Robertson, I've got Trent Alexander-Arnold, but I'm really looking at Doherty. So I think I like the look of him today. I mean, I don't know, I can see some link-up play between Kulusevski and Doherty. You can't speak like that. No one speaks like that. You speak in your accent, and you have to keep it consistent. So unless you have an Irish accent naturally, and everything you say is in an Irish accent, you're not going to say the name in an Irish accent. Here's another example. How would you feel if you are saying the name Robertson in your native accent, and a Scottish person said, his name's not Robertson, it's Robertson. Well, so it's not Robertson, it's Robertson. Oh, no, that's an Irish accent, sorry. I'm trying to do a Scottish accent again. It's Robertson. Oh, it's not Robertson, it's Robertson. You have to say Robertson every time you say the name Robertson. They say Robertson in Scotland, so you've got to say Robertson. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do... nobody speaks like that. Imagine... Right, who's another player? Let's think of a French player. Thierry Henry. Imagine if every time someone said the word Thierry Henry, they said Thierry Henry. What? No, it's not. The French people are saying it's not pronounced Thierry Henry, it's Thierry Henry. You can't... what? You want me to speak like that every time I say the name? It's a ridiculous request. It's a ridiculous request. You can't expect people to say names in the accent of their own nation. It is not a realistic expectation. The h sound in Doherty is not an easy sound to pronounce in an English accent. I accept that. It's not an easy sound to pronounce. So we're not going to, in any English accent, you're not going to say it right. It's just not easy to say it right. And similar comparisons are, a lot of you guys are from India, right? And something I've noticed I don't know if it's all of India, I don't know if it's part of India, but the way you pronounce the W sound is more like a V. So, like Weghorst, for example. But say I was to, what's another player beginning with W? Like Dennis Wise. In an Indian accent, you will very naturally and organically say Dennis Wise. And now I can stand here and say, well, I'm English, Dennis Wise is an English football player, it's pronounced Wise. Don't say Wise, it's a Wise. But at the same time, you have to be understanding of other people's accents and the way that some sounds are not as natural in other accents. So it's I don't think it's snobbish necessarily. And I do understand there is more to it. And I will go into that, and I am understanding of it. In Japan, there is no what's the sound? There's no L sound. Is it L sound that there's no? I can't remember. There are some certain sounds in Japan that they just don't exist in certain other Asian languages as well, Korea, China. There are certain sounds that just do not exist in their languages. So when they try and say these names, unless they are putting on the English accent, they cannot say certain words in English. Unless they are specifically putting on an English accent, they can't say these words. They can't say these names, or at least can't naturally say these names because it doesn't make sense. It doesn't work in that language. You know what I mean? So yeah, look, I understand there is obviously significant historical significance between England and Ireland, and honestly, I am completely sympathetic towards that. I really am, and it's like some things do make me quite embarrassed to be English, and the troubles are definitely part of that embarrassment. Look, I wasn't born then. There was nothing I could do about it, but it's not a particularly lovely part of British history, and therefore, you see English people potentially butchering Irish words. They are Irish words, and this history of the English trying to suppress the Irish. I can promise you, as an English person, as a sympathetic English person, I am not trying to suppress or cover over the correct Irish pronunciation. It's just really hard. It's just really hard to pronounce these words. Really hard, and it's very difficult, particularly to do it without almost mocking, almost doing it in a mocking fashion, in a mocking accent. So there we go. That's basically the end of the rant. What did you think? What do you think about that one? Is that? There we go. There we go. It's not easy. It is not easy to say certain words depending on your accent. And that is why people don't say, in England, don't say "dirty" correctly. That's why we don't say it. It's not because we are not trying hard enough. It's because it's just so hard to make that sound, which is so unnatural in our accent. So there we go. Tex XEO says, in before FPL Mate gets cancelled for this. I hope not. I mean, I know that was a rant. Noah says, as long as you don't say Doherty, it's okay. Well, Doherty is actually how people would say it. Stuart said borderline racism. I don't think so. I think if anything, it's being open to different cultures and being open to the way different people say different things and being understanding and accepting of different accents. I don't think there's anything wrong with different accents. I think it enriches the language. I think it's a great thing. But yeah, in this country, we do say Doherty because there's no natural I don't even know how to do it. The kind of sound in the middle of Doherty. We in this country replace it with a k sound, which is common throughout the world. There are kind of replacement sounds that people use in different countries where they struggle with different languages and syllables and sounds and consonants. They have natural replacements, and I think the k sound is the one we adopt in England when trying to pronounce Doherty. You will find people, third, fourth generation Irish people in this country will refer to themselves as Doherty or Flaherty with the k sound in it, because they've been in this country, they've been anglicised enough over generations that their accent and their perhaps don't actually have many connections to Ireland anymore. And that's just the way I say it. But I'll try. I think the way I'm saying Doherty is better than Doherty. So I guess it's better than nothing. So there we go. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk, and I really hope that wasn't offensive. I really do. I don't think it was. At least in my head it wasn't. It certainly wasn't meant with a lot of people. It's not. People say not racist in the slightest. Yeah. Okay. Good. But yeah. We all speak differently, and variety of accents. Variety is the spice of life, and that's my thing. FPL Bateman says, "Can we talk about FPL again? You must be new to these post-stream shows. We don't, between deadline and squad announcements, there's very little FPL talk. We talk nonsense, don't we? I mean, technically, that was kind of FPL related. We were talking about football players. We were talking about different stuff like that." Noah says, "Mate, I'm just saying, there isn't a K in Doherty, so it baffles me how people say it. Doherty, no hate." Well, there's no V in Dennis Wise, but if someone from Germany or from India or someone like that said Dennis Wise, you wouldn't say it's not a W, so it's not a V. So why are you saying V? You just have to kind of be sympathetic that some sounds are harder to pronounce in certain accents, and all of our accents, all of our unique accents will have different strengths and weaknesses, and they're not even strengths and weaknesses, they're just the way they are. And different sounds will be much more natural than others. Rolling your tongue in a lot of kind of Mediterranean accents and South American accents, and some people like physically don't have the. I swear I read that there's some biology that certain people biologically cannot roll their R's. I can't roll my R's very well, but in certain languages, you are literally saying things incorrectly unless you roll the R. But we can't all do it, and that's fine. And that's absolutely fine. Jeremy Baker says, in the South USA, we butcher everything. Yeah, well, I don't know. I mean, maybe you do. I mean, I would love to hear some examples of that one. Moises say, British people also say a silent R at the end of words that end in A. Yeah. It's called R dropping. It's called R dropping in the British accent. And it's an interesting one. Like I'm quite interested in linguistics if it's not become painfully obvious. But yeah, there's different intricacies, Bobby Perez says, what's your ethnicity / origin? I've got one Nigerian grandparent and 3 white British grandparents. So I've got some of my family is from Nigeria, a quarter of them, which makes me 1/4 Nigerian, which makes me mixed race, I suppose, is the word we use. Daniel Valentine says, no more polls, I'm leaving. See ya. No polls, no Daniel Valentine. That's the way things roll around here. No poll, we roll. Cruiser says, Coutinho or Barnes? Definitely Barnes, I would say. Tom White says, how do you say Cancelo from the Pacific and struggle with Portuguese and Spanish Italian names? Yeah. I mean, I think we all do. I'm saying Cancelo now. I'm sure there's maybe 1 or 2 Portuguese people listening in the chat right now who are saying that Cancelo is incorrect. Is it Cancelo? Is it Cancelo? Who knows? Who knows? Ayorinde says, I'm Nigerian, Dan. Come on, you must be trolling. Why? I'm like a little bit brown. I'm not fully Nigerian. I'm just 1/4 Nigerian. So like, it just makes me mixed race. Like, yeah. My hair is not actually this straight, by the way. I know that's probably the biggest one. Like, if you met me in person, you will see that I actually have pretty dark skin. Like, not like black skin, but like dark skin. And you would say, oh, okay, maybe there is some, maybe not. Patrick Coakley in the chat says it's Valentine. Depending on where you're from, Valentine could be pronounced Valentine. It could be. Why not? Evangelos says, agree with you, but wouldn't hurt to say Benzema instead of Benzema. Is that right? I didn't know that. So it's Benzema. It's not Benzema. It's Benzema. I don't know. How do you say Dan in Nigerian? In Nigeria, I don't know. You'd have to ask a Nigerian person. I imagine it's the same. I don't know, to be honest. Haha, joking. Sorry, Valentine. No, it's look, it's a fun intricacy. Have we got some score predictions from Poya 3-2 to Liverpool? I think that's probably right. Geordie Kev says, holy hell, I always thought you were Asian. You know what? I get that sometimes, but not very often. Ayorinde says, yeah, it's the same. Fair enough. Yeah, not Asian. A lot of people, if I go on holiday to Spain or something, people will try and assume that I'm Spanish and speak to be in Spanish. Whereabouts in Nigeria? Lagos. Lagos. Again, depending on your accent. Lagos is where in Nigeria that Nigeria family from. Dan is Dan in Nigeria. Well, I mean, at least that makes that easy. You know what? We've not done accents. Have we done accents chat before? Not in a while. There's always a new, interesting, and random non-FPL topic after the deadline, isn't there? AMR says, in the Middle East, we actually struggle with pronouncing B and P. That's fair enough. That's fair enough. I can understand. There's going to be some intricacies there. Anthony says, no, Dan looks Italian. Yep. I mean, as a kid, I had a Roma shirt. I don't know why I had a Roma shirt. I was just collecting random. Did I go to Rome or was I just collecting? No, it was a Totti shirt because I love Totti. I love Totti, so I got a Totti shirt. That was why. As a kid, and I was wearing the Totti shirt, and I was just in like the shop. I was just in like Tesco or something, and just a random man came up to me and said, "Oh, Roma shirt. Are you Italian?" Like just out of nowhere. It's just this old guy. I was like, I don't know. I was like 11 or 12. Are you Italian? No, it's just wearing a Roma shirt. If there was a white guy wearing a Roma shirt, would you ask that question? I'd like go up to a random kid and ask if they're Italian. I don't know. Sports Edit says it's like saying Werner in a German accent and saying Xavi in a Spanish accent. I agree with you, Dan. Yeah, Spanish pronunciations can be difficult as well. You just got to try your best and at least try and be open. And if it's just too hard, then give each other a little bit of leeway on the way we're saying things, I think. Dan, you should be going through First 11 news on Twitter right now. I know I should. That's on me. Let's head to the Twitterverse. Into the Twitterverse, boys. We are slacking. Harry FPL Tips or FPL Harry, as we should call him now, didn't take a hit. Well done. Steve's asking who the captain is. Oh, God. Oh, I can't believe Differential King captained Rashford. AMR says, I swear it's not a troll. Would you consider Fred next week? No. No, I don't think so. I mean, you could. He does get the occasional return. If it was a 1 week punt and you were wild carding after, then I guess. Saeed says, when is it story time? I guess the Doherty chat was the story time today. Roy Ko says, come to Singapore. Our English, known as Singlish, is one of the most efficient languages in the world. Wow. Dan, I know you probably get this a lot, but you look a lot like Eric Jemba. No, I have never had that in my life. And that can't be true. Like, what? Are you thinking of the right player? Or is this an obvious troll? Obvious troll is trolling? His army says, Dan, did you watch Boruto series? I tried it. It wasn't really for me. I love Naruto. I've watched the whole of that, but Boruto's not for me. I think I found myself growing out of Naruto, I think, a little bit. Watched that as a kid, but you have to see simply FPL's team. Do I? Is it good? Where can I find it? No, it doesn't look like there's anything on this guy, man. Differential King. This guy. Let's see. I can't see anything on my timeline. Let's see what Az. Az. Like, let's go on FPL Gameweek. We are competing with Az really as the top for the top spot in the Content Creators League. We've got 31 points on him, but he has an additional chip to me. So let's see what he's up to. Ramsdale, Trent, Doherty, Robertson. He's starting Roberts. He's starting Roberts ahead of Barnes. That's pretty wacky. Fair play. Starting Coutinho ahead of Barnes. Fine. Saka, Kulusevski, Salah, Kane, Lacazette. Or... interesting. I can't believe he's starting Roberts. Fair enough. Tech XEO says, have you seen One Piece? I tried it. There's too many episodes. I just couldn't do it. Geordie says, have you watched the new series of Top Boy? I have never watched Top Boy. Hamza says, watch Attack on Titans. Yeah, I'm waiting for it to finish in the dub before I finish it, but I'm nearly finished that. What else? Please work says, did you claim earlier to not be white? You trying to win the Victim Olympics? What? I'm not white. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing... What? What a weird comment. How is saying that I'm not white playing the victim? Christ, some people, man. Daniel Frisk says, anyone else who transferred in Tellez? I don't think there will be many of those. Tech XEI says, the season 4 part 3. I didn't even know there was a part 3 coming. Jesus. Part 3 of Attack on Titan series 4 coming. That's crazy. The lineup should be out. I'm just waiting for the notification. Here it is. What about Peaky Blinders? No, never watched that. You'd like Death Note more than Attack on Titan? I've watched Death Note a few times, actually. I really like that. I think someone mentioned Steins Gate as well, which I really liked. Right, so Sar, Johnny, Bolly, Cody, Killman, so no Sice again. Marcel, so no Nori again. Luke Kundle. Massinho, Trincao, Silva, and Huang is back in. So no Neto. No Nori and Sice is probably the big one. We've got Semedo back on the bench. I'm not sure if he's been on the bench already. But he's on the bench. And then for Newcastle, see, that's the way how you say Newcastle. So Martin Dubravka, Kraft, Shah, Byrne, Target, Shelby, Gimaresh, Joelinton, Fraser, Sam Maximan, and Wood. So is there anything interesting in that one? No, that's pretty much as expected, that one, isn't it? Other than Willock. Wait, where's Willock? Is he injured? Did I miss that one? Did Willock get injured? Let's find out. Pro Bro Club says, Dan, you never respond to my comments. Just did, my friend. Just did. Has anyone got any information on Willock? If he is injured, then maybe I just missed that one. I missed him getting injured. No, Alan San Maximan. Yeah, he's starting. Look, number 10, Alan San Maximan. Or is Willock playing and I've just missed his name somehow? Where is he? Willock has a knee injury. Okay, I must have missed that one. Oh, fair enough. Never mind. He's out. He's injured. Fair enough. Injured. That's a shame. Bruno G is a beast. Yeah, he looks like a good player, you know. Guy says, think you've got problems. I live in Florida and have to call football soccer. No, I think you should just call, even though you're in Florida, just call football, and everyone is going to think you're so pretentious, and it's just like look down your noses as the people calling it soccer. Rohan says, I started Dubravka. I think you could be in for some points today. Willock is pregnant. There we go. That answers that one. Right, guys, we are going to call it a day today. You have to see simply. Okay, let's find simply FPL's team, and then we will go. Whilst I'm looking for this, guys, if you wouldn't mind leaving a like on the stream, that would be massively appreciated. Subscribe if you're new around here. That would be massively appreciated as well. Who's he got? I don't know. What's so interesting about this? This is okay. There we are. Yep, he has benched Trent and Robertson. Okay, that is bold. Fair enough. Wait, who was he captained? Oh, he captained Fernandez as well. All right, yeah, Fernandez, I don't mind. You know, I think that's perfectly reasonable. He has sold Salah, though, by the looks of things. Yeah, he sold Salah. FPL is meant to be fun. Good luck. Guys, good luck this game week. I will see you guys over on Twitter where we will be talking all through the action. What else? Aside from that, I'm not going to see you on YouTube until Monday. We'll do a video and we'll do a deadline stream, a strategy stream on Monday where I'm going to be talking a little bit more about my strategy because I'm closing in on a finalised strategy for the remainder of the season. So I'll talk to you guys about that on Monday. But yeah, in the meantime, let's just enjoy FPL, enjoy the football, go crazy on Twitter every time something crazy happens. And yeah, just enjoy, good luck, have fun. And that's pretty much it. So guys, thank you for watching this stream. Thank you for sticking with me. I appreciate you guys so much. You're absolute legends. And I'll see you later, mates. Bye-bye.